Welcome back. Welcome back to the Shire. And yes, it's so lovely that we're back out at the brand new fence. Yeah. So no, we're not carrying on getting the fence finished. We're getting ready to take it down. Yeah. And no, the municipality is not making me take it down and move it. One of my neighbors complained. Yeah, one of my lovely neighbors formed a complaint about my fence, and so the municipality is forced to have me move it back. Ironic part is, the old fence is actually not where it's supposed to be. It should be over there, so that's fun. Anyway, I'll bring you back. I'm gonna... Stop doing the zoomies. It's like sharks circling their prey. Okay. Yeah, I know, this sucks. It sucks a lot. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm taking out most of the posts, and I've got so I've dropped the bottom wire on the ground, I've thrown the top wire over the back side, and I left the middle two strung up pardon me, to about every 7th or 8th way it keeps the wires somewhat organized. So yeah. So yeah, I went and pulled the staples off most of them last night, and now I'm just bobbing along doing this. And tell you, whoever it was, and by the way, to all those who are local that are watching this, I pretty well know who it was. I see certain people driving back and forward watching me, so yeah, that's fun. As we see, lights. Anyway, it's not getting done standing here flapping my gums. There we go. So, we're one step closer. Garden tractor is in where it needs to be stored. Tanks are where they need to be, but like I said in the previous clip, they're to be rinsed out, so they're just tentatively sat there because there's still ice and stuff in the bottom of them. So you can see there, 1540 was on that one. So yeah, these ones hold 275 gallons, so 1,000-liter totes. So like I said, that's part of the old business plan, is that by the end of the year we can get these filled with oil. Like, there's no way that I should need more than this, especially for engine oil. Hydraulic oil, or the way that our stuff leaks, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, engine oil, we should be fine for that doing us for a whole year with the amount of machines we have, because it's not like we have those massive big four-wheel drives and combines and such likes. Yeah, so that's where we're at. So yeah, I think that's all I was going to tell you. Hey, squeakers. Snuffers. Hey, snuffers. Number second calvers. Yeah. And there's Mark. Hi, sweetie. She is supposed to be a third calver, but she didn't carry second time, so she's a second calver, coming on 4 years old. Yeah. And there's JJ. Hey, JJ. Hey, sweetie. Another second calver. These girls. Yeah, just every day spending time with them. Makes it so much nicer to work with them, especially processing or at calving time. These girls. There's one of the stars. Her ladyship. Hey, girl. She's one of the new ones, like where she was never really quiet, petted. She's now started to calm down. So yeah. Isn't that right, girl? They eventually come around. Just like this is the ancient one's daughter. Ancient one was never petted, but Pixie is starting to be. Yeah. Okay. Let's get going. Another dozen or so posts on this length, and then there's a few just over the half-mile mark, and then that'll be as far as I want to go this back end, because like I said, if I drop any more posts, I'm gonna get the wires all tangled up. So once we start hammering the new post, because the new post will go over here. Oh, look this way. I don't know why it's looking so. Just a minute. What's going on? It's like goobers on it or something. Okay, so the actual fence should be over here. So this fence, the old fence that was here, was in the wrong place anyway. So yeah, the new fence will be over here. So I'll just basically fling the barbed wire. I'll just have to do a lot of walking and work the wires over, because I don't have a wire roller. So yeah. Let's gonna be a fun job. Yeah. So, then this piece of ground will just have to go back to either growing scrub and bush or see if I can do something with it. Cut it. It's kind of rough though. But anyway, get to pulling this wire, pulling the posts, because we're losing warm days. We're down to the last 2 or 3 warm days and then it's winter time. Well, it's back together. So I'm not sure if I covered this, but there's been a development. Yeah, you probably can't see much up in there. I forgot to film it earlier. Yeah. Those of you astute will realize that should be in there. Yeah, in there, just above the AC. So how is the tractor back together if that's sitting there? Well, I bypassed it. Now we're going into winter time, and now this thing is not running a baler or doing anything like in the heat for very long. So the cooler is not real important at this point. And the ironic part is, I tested that thing. I made up fittings and I put air pressure on it and I submerged that in water and it would not leak. And I don't think all of this moisture here was coolant. It seemed like it was hydraulic oil as well. So yeah, it wasn't a waste of time pulling the rad, because I am almost 100% certain that this thing was leaking. But what it looks like is that something poked through both of them. But you can see, like, so yeah, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna take it away and get it checked and see if it's still a viable radiator. So yeah, I'm gonna send that away. There's a place in Brandon that does it. I'm gonna check on Monday to see how much they are, because whether it's worth getting it checked out or just buy a new one. Like if it only costs, $20-30 to have it tested, then I'll get it tested, but it's probably gonna cost about $300 or $400 at least for one of those. Considering the radiator was 800 and something, the AC condenser was 500 and something, but it was quite broke. So yeah, that's fun. But hey, looks like a tractor again. Just casual. Oh, Foxy. The one thing I was going to talk about was this thing. If I was to say what is one of the best investments we've ever made on this farm, since we put on cows at least, even above the mixer wagon, poop spreader, all that stuff, it's this. So we put on cows 2000, 2001, and for the first couple of winters in our big corrals, we hand unrolled the straw bales. Yeah. You all know the size of our corrals. We hand bombed all of that. So Piper Doug went to a farm sale just west and north of here. It was kind of over up towards sort of Hamiota area. Where in hell did she go? Maybe she's the ringleader that did it last time. Like, silly move. You're wrong side of the fence. Anyway, so went to an auction and bought our first baler, a 535 John Deere. Well, actually, first real baler. I had bought a chain baler, an old 847, 848 chain baler for $600 while we were on holiday camping away down by Suras, I think. Mrs. Piper Doug might correct me in the comments. Yeah, paid $600 for it and pulled it all the way home. Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, so yeah, we bought our first real baler, John Deere 535. Good baler. Didn't do well in light straw, but it made lots of really good hay bales. We paid $7,800 in 2003? Or was that, no, 2002? And around about that time, 2002, 2003. Paid $7,800 for a 535 with monitor. And paid $7,200 for this Bale processor. I don't know the actual year on it. I would probably say it was about it's probably around about that early 90s, I think this model is. It's Farm King. Bale King, I mean. And the ironic part is I can sell this Bale processor today, 20 years later, for almost the same money. And what do I have into it? We replaced the bearings on the main shaft and I think one of the beaters. I've changed none of the hammers. I think there's 2 hammers to be replaced because one of them broke and one's bent. So yeah, we are a couple of $100 into parts on this. I don't even think we have a tire on it yet, to tell you the truth. So yeah, how is that for an investment? Still the original hoses, shockingly, and the universals. So yes, if I was to be asked what is the best investment we have made in equipment wise on this farm, I would have to say this moment, dollar for return is this machine here. Because between feeding and then what we can do as far as low quality feed and what we can do as far as low quality straw, this machine has paid us back tenfold. Absolutely. Because even when we have like you will seldom ever see us take burst bales and just burn them. We will stack them if we can, push them in a corner, and then when needs come, we will unhook this and we will pick up the loose bales, drop them in here, and use them that way, spread them out that way. So yeah, there you go. Worth their weight in gold, these things. Whew. I didn't even ask you to join me. I'm sorry, you all missed out. So yeah, that would be an average. That would be an average cleaner. I thought I just cleaned this. I don't know if that's any better. It might just be the dust in here. So yeah, that's typical. That's a typical clean out. Now I was laying on that because I've been fishing out any little bits of twine in there. So especially when we're feeding with this, like later on when we're just bedding in the corrals, it doesn't matter so much. It can get a little bit, pardon me, I hate it when people sniff on their videos, but anyway, Later on when we're just bedding with it, you can let it run a little bit longer between cleanouts. But when you're feeding with it, you got to keep on it religiously, because then you're more prone to wrapping up the net wrap in the processor than spitting it out, more than not. You're not going to get it all, but more than not, you'll keep more of the net wrap inside the machine. So that way your animals are not eating as big of pieces of it. Because little pieces, doesn't matter. Cows, it'll run right through them. You'll see balls of it laying in their poop. But for the most part, yeah. So, yeah, and so the reason why you do keep up on it is so that you get it greased. So there is only so many. So there's 3 grease points at the back. The buggy has no grease points on it whatsoever. Standard wheel bearings, pack grease. So yeah, 2 in the top, 1 in the main. The main one is the most important because it's high speed. The other ones are not. There is no bearings at the front because these are motors. Silly. Yeah, that's the other main important bearing. As you can see, there's grease. I actually didn't realize I had bought a new grease point for the old grease gun. I can say, like, I've actually worn out 3 of these on this old grease gun. And you know why I know it's this one? This is my grease gun that I've had since I moved here. And the reason I know is because of that. And why that? Because this used to hang in the drawbar of our pull type westward swather that we used to run with the 4750 versatile swather, because we used to have 2 swathers going in our canola. So I would quite often use the pull type on a 5130 case loader tractor that we used to have for doing cows. That was our first good loader tractor. That was a good machine. 13,000 hours before it burnt down. So yeah, this sat in the drawbar on the draw hitch of the, because I didn't realize the PTO shaft was actually wearing the end of the handle off. So that's how I know it's this one. You know you're old school when you're still using one of these. Now yes, it's a different tube because the tube that was on this got buggered up, but still the same handle. So yeah, I put on one of those heavy duty ones. I don't have one of those quick coupler snap lock fancy dancy ones. Old school. So yeah, how many of you can still say you're using an actual grease gun? And yes, case in point, 1 grease nipple on the universal there, or Harvey Spicer, is that what they're called? Harvey Spicer. And then on the CV. Now, you all might find this kind of interesting too. This is still the original CV on this machine. And like I said, we've had it 20 years and it was probably 10 years old when we got it. And this is the original constant velocity twin universal CV joint. Me and this thing have a fight in the winter time because when it gets real cold and this sometimes gets a bit dry, you might get moisture in it, and then try getting that off. So as you can see, it's been heated up a few times. But yeah, that's probably one of the oldest CB PTOs you'll ever see. Because imagine that is expensive to replace. So yeah, I put about 40 shots in there. These grease nipples, I have to admit, these grease nipples get done more often than the rest when it's getting cleaned out. This is really misty. Because like I said, this is what gets all the abuse. Because when you're in a corral, so especially a number 1 corral here, because it's smaller, you're turning pretty tight. I try not to turn too tight with it running, but so yeah, there's, like, I'm gonna try and do this. Like, that's me doing twisting. Yeah, there's no play in that. Huh. Must not be made by Chinesium. Oh! Oh, I said that. Oh, cheapers. I better not get cancelled. Anyway, on to the next thing. Woo. Well, sun's going down on the last of the life-giving days of 2023. We give thanks to ye heat giver, and we bid you adieu till next year. End of this dang stuff. Yep, tomorrow I think it's supposed to be hovering right around about 0, and then from there on in, minuses. And at this point I'm kind of ready for it, because dealing with that all around the roads, schlop, slipping, muck everywhere. Yeah, I thought I gave that up back in the old country. Oh, that's not good. I want my money back. I did that. So, it's concrete. So yeah, it's time to start unwrapping it. So yeah, like I said in the previous videos, he came and took all the boards off. So there's the stakes all on a pallet ready to get picked up. All the boards are in the shop, and you'll probably see that a bit later. So basically now, picked up all the wedges, picked up all the strings. So what will happen in the next few days is his tarp is in the shop drying out, then I'll clean it, roll it up, have it ready for him when he comes back for the next load of bales. And then I'll haul the timbers back round to there for the building. And then I'll take a couple of tarps at a time into the shop, dry them, clean them, and wrap them up and tie them up. And yeah, I'll just knock the straw into here, because I'm going to start. I gotta make up a plate, bolt it into that post to start welding the top rail, because that'll be the first thing, is to fish mouth cut all these at a certain level. There's a couple I have to add on to, I think there. I'm trying to see. So I'll level them all up, and yeah, I'll put the top rail on, and then once the top rail's on, we'll bring, for those who don't know, these. I've had these for a few years. As you can see, they're like a C channel, and I only paid about, I'd be lying if I told you, but I think it was about 500, because you can see here there's like 2 separate stacks. I think I paid like 300 and something bucks for the bottom stack, and then I paid a couple of $100 for the top. There was 2 bundles in the top, so like 500 and something bucks for all of that. Now, why did I get such a heck of a deal? Well, the auction I was at, it was starting to rain, people were leaving quickly, and nobody knew what to do with that. What is it? Well, may you ask? Those are the C channels for an aeration floor from one of those massive bins. But because there were ends and tweaks and scratches and whatnot, they're extras. So I got them cheap because they're galvanized. So yeah, they will go along the bottom of this. Now I might be doing 2 deep, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to put a single on, and then we will put the brisket bar along the bottom here, and then that will give us our feed rail. So then I'll put verticals, figuring out where the headlocks will be. So difference with these ones is because these will be for young stock, not cows, so that'll have to be measured. The other ones, once we get to those, will be done just purely for calves. So yeah, so that's where we're at. Okay, it's actually starting to cool off dramatically. Mr. Moon. That's it quite clear. Usually this phone's absolute garbage at taking images. Anyway, I am going to put silage out to these girls. These girls get silage every day. The big lot gets silage every 2 days, give or take. Okay, let's get going. It's that time again. That time of the week. So, yeah, like I said, bring the lumber in, set it up, let it dry out. Lovely job of scraping the concrete off. It's a fun job. Kind of wish they'd, at least that one they used it as a screed board. I kind of wish they'd maybe washed it. At least just scrape the wet concrete off it. It was the worst, yeah. So, these ones doesn't matter so much because these ones will be going on the rafters on their edge, whereas the 2x4s are going on their flats, so that's kind of why I needed all the concrete scraped off them. I know one 2x4, how much does that cost? Doesn't matter. It's money. It's money. So yeah, these are almost dried out. The reason why this one's still damp is because that tarp was laying here. And yes, I know it's not my tarp, but still, you look after people's stuff. So yeah, tomorrow, because I've got the fan running, tomorrow I'll bang these around, get the most of the concrete chipped off them, get them out of here, and then start bringing the other tarps in. So this week, which was I was hoping would have happened in this video here, this past week, the bushings are supposed to be in for this. So I can get these put back on, put it back together, and then get this out of here, out of the shop. Because like I said, the forage harvester is going to go in this back corner. For the most part, I think it's just going to be in here. I might sit it in here and then put the little Fords and Major in beside it. And then that way I can work on both of them as I needs be. And that'll give me the rest of the space to do everything else. Like finish putting that engine back together for that turd ball. Get it out of here. Then that thing. Because pretty well the last thing to do to it at this point to get it up and running is to wire it. The wiring was an absolute gong show even before the engine ran away. And for those who don't know the story behind this machine and why it's always been in the back of my videos, we bought this from, the guy that we bought it from has since passed away, so I can't speak ill of the fellow. I maybe got half a dozen hours of work out of it and the engine ran away. I managed to save the engine by stuffing a reusable shopping bag into the air filter box, which usually sits about there. Meanwhile, I don't know if you can see this. Meanwhile, the shroud there was coming apart and cutting my arm all to heck. So, long story short, we've had the injection pump rebuilt and had the injectors done while it was at it. So basically the only thing left to do to it right now, because it's been built back up to the point where just ahead the covers to go back on, is to wire up. There's an external pump and solenoid. Just that wiring is to get all fixed. And then technically it should run. And those astute will see, there's a joystick with a button on it. This has power beyond on the front end. So it actually has a grab for the front of it. Because he used it for loading like scrap metal and stuff. It's heavy. It's heavy duty. I know there was one bigger than this, the 855, but this is heavy, heavy stuff. So that's going to get done. So yeah, between that, oh, this needs to get run, this generator. One of those lovely Fraser auction cheap buys. It ran for a little while and then it just died, so that's got to get fixed. And yeah, then there's this. The lovely quad that's been to the bottom of a lake. Yeah. We'll see where we get to. Anyway, bite the elephant one mouthful at a time. That's how you eat the whole thing. That's what I say. Yeah. Anyway, oh my gosh. Yeah, Piper Dog's not feeling so good. He's kind of feeling yucky. But onwards and upwards. Thank you for watching, everybody. Well, sorry it wasn't a very interesting video. I know it wasn't really a whole heck of a lot went on in this episode. But, yes. On and upwards. Hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you're subscribed. Hopefully you tell your friends. Hopefully everything's okay. You have a good week. I'm going inside to have my pottage.